So, to answer my own question on why does leadership matter in business process improvement, the answer is right here. You can have the best process improvement opportunity. You can have the best process mapping in the world. You can understand everything. But if you don't work with the people and you don't understand the culture and you try to make change happen, it'll either happen and not stick or it won't happen at all, which will just be a complete waste of your time and energy. It will drive you a bit mad. I've been there myself. It's frustrating. And that's why we're starting with understanding the culture and getting the leadership and the foundation right before we jump into the process mapping aspect. When you're working in business process improvement, the company culture is critical. What you need to do and what you want to do is understand how to assess a company's culture and then ask yourself and then ask others, can the company culture change if needed? And how do I sell this change to the company and the people who work in it, to the people who are handling the tasks, to the leadership, to other support departments? How do we get everyone on board? And if the environment's not the right one, how do we make the right changes? And this is a key piece. A lot of people want to overstep because it feels soft, right? They want to jump right into, okay, how do we diagram the process? But this is key, and this ties right into the leadership piece that we were talking about earlier. How do you assess a company culture? There's 4 key points I want you to keep in mind as you go and work on your own initiatives as we go throughout this course. The first thing you want to do is gauge the openness for change within company leadership. I've seen organizations where things are broken. Everyone knows they're broken, but does the leadership team want to change what is happening? Do they have the time and the energy, the resources? And if that's not there, well, you're going to waste your time and you're going to get frustrated again. So you need to find an organization that is ready to accept change. And if they're not ready to accept change yet, you need to work more on that first before you move forward. When you are assessing a company's culture, you also want to look at the incentive programs. Does the organization have change and growth as part of what drives them, as part of their core ingredient, right? If you're trying to sell change and people say, I don't see this anywhere on the priority list or anywhere in the bonus structure, you're not going to get a lot of buy-in. So if you're working with the leadership team already, you want to ask, how do we incentivize people to care about change and to make sure these things happen and make sure they stick? When you're in the organization, you also want to take a look around to see how different people are interacting with each other. If you have a process that goes across several different types of departments in the organization and people are kind of secretive or restrictive or they're guarding information, that's not going to be a great process to work on first because you're not going to be able to get the full picture. You want to find out where people are freely sharing information, they're interacting, they're friendly, and there's going to be some teamwork there. If people are guarding information, you're not going to fully understand the process or implement the solution. And finally, you want to ask questions to different people in the organization and around areas you're potentially looking to improve to kind of get a feel for what the answers are and what the attitudes are that people have. If you're talking about a process that isn't working so great and they say, so what, or that's the way we've always done it, that's the way we're going to do it, well, you kind of have a problem there. Same thing goes for if you have inconsistencies. And then that's where you want to start to look a little deeper. Once you go through these 4 steps here to assess the company culture, you can get a pretty good idea of where you're going to be successful with your change initiative and where you're not. And if you already have leadership support at the top, you can report back what you're seeing and with what you're hearing. And then they can either help or guide you with your project and with your progress. So it's really important to get a good feel and then share that information. It's okay, here's where we're at as a baseline. What's next? What you'll find and what I found before is having these conversations helps send the right message to people that they're heard and that they're seen. It's okay that things aren't working perfectly, but if no one's talking about it, it gets kind of demoralizing, right? I'm just going to keep doing this. No one cares. But if you're talking with individuals and with groups and with leaders, and you're bringing new energy to business process improvement, it's already going to start to help the culture and to get people to think and see that, wow, things really are starting to change. We're starting to do something about this problem that we've known for a long time.